Yeah, that's WrestleMania, WWE theme. As we look live on Lucas Oil Stadium, you see the sign for the U.S. Olympic team swim trials is coming down as we speak. And in the not too distant future, some WWE signs will be coming up there as well because it plays a pivotal role in WrestleMania and the other events that the city has landed. WrestleMania is pro wrestling's premier event. It is where storylines like the one you're seeing, The Rock and John Cena, have come to a head in years past. Indianapolis is set to host it sometime soon as part of a big deal that'll bring 3 events here. Those who watch the sport most closely say the deal's a different way of doing business for the company. Sean Ross Sapp is the managing editor of Fightful, a professional wrestling and combat sport news site. Truly one of the leading voices in this field. Thanks for making time for us this morning. How is this deal different than the way wrestling has played out in the past?
Well, so often when these cities land large-scale, stadium-sized WWE events, they're one-event deals, and a lot of times these cities are offering handsome site fees to WWE to bring these events to their cities and cause an economic impact. However, this is the first one of its kind in America, as Indianapolis has landed not just the Royal Rumble next year, but a future WrestleMania, which is the biggest event, a 2-night event, really an all-week event, and a SummerSlam, which is also a 2-night week-long event. So in one swoop, Indianapolis has pretty well landed the 3 biggest events that WWE has. Now, they're not all going to be next year, but they will be sprinkled throughout the next few years, and this just hasn't happened before in the States. Only overseas in Saudi Arabia has a deal like this happened with WWE.
Begs the question, why? Is this because of the city? Is this because of changes inside the sport?
It's because the Indiana Sports Corp is pushing to have more events here. I'm sure the Super Bowl made an awful nice impression on a lot of people. I heard wonderful things when it happened there. And WWE wants cities that are easy to navigate, that will pay them money, and that are willing to make an investment in the product that they have. And Indiana was willing to do that. And Indiana saw the value in WWE doing that as well. And it's not just these major events. They've also committed to bringing some additional peripheral events on throughout the week to Indianapolis, to Evansville, a lot of shows in the area.
Well, I want to drill down on a couple of those issues. First, you mentioned the Super Bowl. One columnist here really got the conversation going, suggesting that this could be bigger than the Super Bowl for the city. Is that wrestling hyperbole or reality?
No, I think it's reality. I'm a huge NFL fan. Go Bengals! But this is a 2-night event, and it's not just this. Like, you're not going to see independent football games around the Super Bowl. You're going to see a lot of independent wrestling shows and conventions that are put on to sort of piggyback off of all 3 of these events. So yeah, I think there's a chance this could have a bigger impact than the well, maybe not a bigger financial impact than the Super Bowl. That remains to be seen. But they could lead to more people being in the city for sure.
I know you're a journalist, but I think you just did your own heel turn by mentioning the Bengals instead of the Colts. But you know that drill. The other issue that you brought up that I want to talk more about is what this looks like. If I don't pony up for the big ticket, are there still things to do surrounding a WWE weekend? And how wide is that spread?
Oh, there certainly is, especially as it relates to the WrestleMania weekends, whenever that may be, and SummerSlam weekends. There's already a great convention that happens the month of WrestleMania in Indianapolis called Squared Circle Expo. I don't know if they will continue to do that, but WWE put on a really, really good convention of their own. There's a convention called WrestleCon that comes in. So if you don't necessarily like modern wrestling and you fell in love with it years ago, like you told me that you did, there are old timers that are all signing autographs, doing meet and greets. There are independent events. There's an awful lot of things. There's dinners that are held with some of your favorite wrestlers, not even connected to WWE. There's an awful lot that goes on for these weeks.
It's been interesting to see people from other sports or other areas of celebrity really embrace pro wrestling in recent years. You know, we have an adopted favorite son here, former Colt Pat McAfee.
Yes.
Is his embrace of this with the national media platform that he has likely to have either played into this or will play out in the ring?
It couldn't hurt. And I mean, Pat McAfee was conspicuously absent from the WWE show last night, in which he does commentary on, but he's obviously part of the heart of the city, and he has been really, really fun to have as a part of pro wrestling. I've spoken with him a few times myself, and sometimes you forget the guy was an athlete, right? Sometimes you forget he's an athlete and you see him accomplish some incredible things in the ring. I think you're going to end up seeing him wrestle multiple times over the years at these events.
We'll see what kind of backroom deals have to be done before that happens, for sure. Final thing, how long will this all take to play out? It's not all happening in next year, for instance.
That's correct. They didn't necessarily put anything down for that. February 1st, the Royal Rumble is coming to Indianapolis, and that is a big one. However, they already have WrestleMania and SummerSlam set for next year for Las Vegas and Minnesota, respectively. So 2026 at the earliest, we could see another one of those events head to Indianapolis, but nothing was set in stone as far as their announcement as of yet.
Well, it's not exactly the belts, title belts behind your left shoulder, but we'll get you a Daybreak coffee mug if we can talk to you over those years that are still ahead. Is that all right?
I'd love it.
Sean Ross Sapp, journalist for professional wrestling through his website that he's the managing editor for as well. That is Fightful, and we appreciate your time this morning.